Good morning. A few hours ago, I wrote this. It is just the beginning of the dawning of our Aquarian age, the age of reasoning. If we do not learn from the experiences of recorded history, we are likely to repeat our previous mistakes again. It is therefore crucially important we pay our utmost attention to what we know and teach ourselves and our children the wisdom from those who have come before. In every life, there is only a finite amount of time. Accomplishments therein are very important, ultimately to one's own self. There will come a time when one measures their own accomplishments. Listen and decide. Further, if one is always looking for enemies, you will find them. You will create them when perhaps there are none. So be careful for what you wish. It is better to appreciate the diversity of life rather than stigmatize differences. Celebrate them. For there are many species who also call this universe home. It is not just ours. We are not alone. Ultimately, how we perceive our universe will determine our fate. If you believe in the superiority of great individuals, men and women from our world, heralded to be different, in a sense, godlike, do you not see, if such can exist upon just this one world, what it means? The diversity of life is profound. With millions of stars, actually trillions of stars, so too then is life. There are millions or billions of planets around the suns of our universe that have the ability to spawn life forms similar to and most likely very different than our own. We should always be wary of anyone or everyone, and of course this includes oneself. Temptations of making wrong decisions. We all know this in our own selves. But certainly we need to have a sense of open-mindedness, a sense of not being biased against something we don't understand, a sense of empathy and compassion, a sense of wonder at what might be. Be guarded, of course. Be careful, of course, because there are amongst all of the races of the universe, most likely ones that are not positive in their orientation. In some ways, if we look upon the history of our own world through the last, let's say, 5,000 to 10,000 years, look at mankind. And look what we have done to those that are actually our own family, for those that are actually our own cousins. And someone says to me, but why haven't we been contacted by these other species that you are postulating exist? Well, let's think about an example. Let's say you are friendly with someone And maybe you want to get to know them better, male or female, a friend, more. And through circumstances, you have an opportunity to visit their home. And when you get inside, at first everyone is nice to each other in being introduced to you, or maybe not even. But after a little while, someone is yelling at someone else. Another is complaining. Another is being taken advantage of. And others are being subjugated to having to do something that maybe they don't want to. And in your position as a witness, you begin to determine how you view this family that you are visiting or having an opportunity to study. And you say to yourself, do I want to get involved with all of this? And the answer is, quite possibly no. I don't. I don't want anything to do with it. Because there are billions of people upon this world, why do I want to get mixed up in all the problems that this family represents when there are so many other choices that one can make? This is, in essence, mankind. Why would an alien race or races want to come and befriend us when we are busy stabbing each other in the back? Think about it. Observing us, yes. Mixing with us, introducing themselves to us. Heretofore, no. Maybe an emergency landing, a crash. Okay. But a formal introduction, not quite on the plate at this point in time. That's my opinion about these things. Mindful meditation is a consideration of things that are thoughts that one is curious about. And extraterrestrial life is one that I'm interested in. Believing in it. Believing in all the sightings had. There is truth to them. And coming to the conclusions I've just discussed as to why we are still alone in this universe is because we do not have the respect of those who observe us from a distance. It goes back to the beginning of today's discussion. It is just the beginning of the dawning of our Aquarian age, the age of reasoning. We need learn from the experiences of our recorded history. We need show that mankind has a capacity to learn from our mistakes and improve. It's as simple as this. Finding and being in a comfortable posture, focused upon one's own being, one's own sense of hearing, one's mind's attention, one's vision, one's sense of touch, taste, smell. Being aware of the heat oozing out from one's body as we go about our activities each and every day. Being aware that this is only one kind of energy. There are many others layers of energy emanating from us all of the time too. Being aware. As we breathe, as we pulse with life-giving processes of respiration and circulation, many evolutionary miracles are occurring simultaneously. In fact, our whole body, every cell, 37 trillion cells, is vibrating with life. Being here now, a bundle of miracles from an evolutionary trail spanning millions of years in a solar system 4.5 billion years old. A child or a young adolescent in the history of our universe of 14.5 billion years. As great as mankind has become, as many as the technological achievements and innovations have been created by our brains, by our learning, by our capacities, there are basic things that remain the same. Can we foster different kinds of innovation in our world? Can we temper our personalities? Can we improve our communications and interactions? This is all related to the subject at hand. Being humble before the majesty, the immensity of creation, of the trillions of stars and the many more trillions of planets, of the trillions of possibilities there are for other life other than our own to exist. Being thankful to have an opportunity for being a part of all of this. Lingering with your own practice and thinking about these things, please, for another minute. Namaste.